What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So over the course of the past few days, we've been getting a lot more mask mandates. We've been getting talks and discussions on possible vaccine mandates as well. Well, we're also getting some reports on more guaranteed income pilot programs, which I want to bring to your attention. We're going to talk about the stimulus package update, what Nancy Pelosi's strategy is moving forward, and I'm going to bring you some daily news. So that's what we're going to discuss in today's video. Hopefully you guys are having a wonderful day so far. If you are, go ahead, hit that like button. For one, it really does help out the channel. And also, I just love hearing that you guys are having a great day. So let's get into the update for today. Currently, more and more cities are taking part in guaranteed income pilot programs. The reason for this surge in these pilot programs, especially over the past year, or really over the past 6 to 8 months, is because more states, cities, and counties have additional funding from the stimulus programs and the stimulus packages, and because of that, they are actually transferring that money over to their residents through these pilot programs. So this is another just fancy way of saying universal basic income. It's just another way for the states, cities, and counties to kind of reallocate those funds into people that actually need it, instead of sitting it in a bank account where their state will use it later on. So we learned last month that California was actually taking part in a guaranteed income program for the state. This is for the state, not for a certain county, not for a specific city, for the entire state. And what they are doing is, in this pilot program, what they're trying to do is they're going to take a small group of people and hopefully expand from there. The group of people that they're currently taking in are pregnant women and young adults that have recently been left the foster care program. So because of that, these are the two people that are really being impacted at this time. But their goal is to expand that program for the entire state of California coming up very soon. But as we know more there, I promise I'll fill you in on those updates as well. Well, it doesn't stop there. More states are looking into these pilot programs as well. One state that actually their applications are due in just 3 days on August 21st. But in Providence, Rhode Island, residents can apply for a chance to get $500 per month for 1 year. And in Providence, if you make up to 200% of the federal poverty line, you would qualify. That's the only limitation. That's the only restriction. So that's something that, okay, you go and apply, and then they're going to pick a handful of people, and they're going to give you money. Well, in Austin, Texas, they're going to do this exact same thing as well. And the reason why I want to bring this up is because so many people have told me here on this channel, I've seen this on other media outlets as well, and other articles, and even other YouTubers that bring this up, is a lot of people say, those are Democratic states. Democratic states are going to give you the universal basic income. A Republican state would never do that. Well, in Austin, Texas, they are going to do this. In Austin, Texas, they're going to put more than $1.1 million into a fund for a guaranteed income pilot program. Now, the nice thing about this is, that this is just a way to try to help out residents. Now, the interesting part of a lot of these different programs, and the reason why some of these things are getting more and more attention, is because they're helping. For the longest time, we've been using old data from other countries and from universal basic income programs that were used 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that really had no business even going out, because the money wasn't going out to the right people. But now we figured out a way to get the money to the correct people. And so these are where things are changing. But this is also where many lawmakers are saying that we need additional income. We need to guarantee income. We need to guarantee that families can provide for themselves. And the interesting part about a lot of these different programs, they're getting more attention because the House is coming back next week. What's going to happen next week? Well, the House is going to vote on a $3.5 trillion budget resolution, not the $1.2 trillion bipartisan bill. And this is creating a lot of controversy. Many members of the House They want to see that more American people are being taken care of due to the rise of COVID cases. We're seeing all over the country, Florida, Mississippi, Texas, hospitals are almost at capacity. In Mississippi alone, the governor was saying that multiple hospitals are at capacity and they cannot accept any more people. And many young children are being tested, and they're testing positive. And this is just, within the first few weeks of the schools reopening. That's creating a lot of issues, because here in Washington State, where I'm from, a lot of our students and kids are going to be going back to school in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And that's creating a lot of issues. Just today, our Governor Jay Inslee, he actually mandated that as of Monday, the state will go back to a mask mandate. And he said that all school teachers will have to be vaccinated. They will have to be vaccinated. So things are changing. Things are changing. I warned you guys about this a couple weeks ago. Not like just the people that watch this channel. Not like we're gonna have a huge impact all over the United States. But I just wanted to warn you guys that this is coming. This is what we're seeing. Earlier on today, I warned you guys as well, and just stated that many manufacturers and grocery stores are already seeing a shortage of certain products. Toilet paper and bottled water were two of those products. I just want to warn you guys, and I'm not saying go out there and hoard toilet paper. Do not do that, okay? Toilet paper, it's still going to come. People are still going to make it. Okay? It's still going to be available. However, it could be harder to find. What I suggest, what I do, okay, is I personally like to keep between 2 to 4 weeks of products for whatever reason. For whatever reason. Okay, whether that's meat, whether it's vegetables. I don't do that because they'll probably go bad. But meat, we will freeze fruits just to make sure that we have enough fruit just in case. Canned vegetables, that's a big thing. Any canned product. Gardening, if you have a garden, great, use it, but also use it as a backup just in case. Okay, make sure you have some food, some grocery products, some cleaning supplies, also toilet paper, bottled water. Have it just in case. All right, that's all I was trying to say today. I'm telling you, do not hoard stuff. Okay, but 2 to 4 weeks of products. For my family, we have a family of 5. That's typically what we do. I don't know if that's too much, but that's what we've been doing for years, not just since the pandemic has started. So, but let me know what you guys do. Let me know what your family does down in the comment section below, and let me know, is 2 to 4 weeks, is that too much or is it too little? I'm just curious what your thoughts on this are as well. Now, here's what we know. Many members of the House, they want to see more for the American people because of the rising cases of COVID. Some say that it will be irresponsible of them to pass infrastructure at a time when stimulus would be a better use of funds. And honestly, let me get your take on this as well. Do you think it's more important to pass a stimulus package to provide to the American people to help not only stimulate the economy, but give the American people what they need to survive through this pandemic? Or is it more important to pass an infrastructure bill to deal with our infrastructure, maybe a year, 5 years, 10 years down the road? Which one would you prefer? Now, we've already received $1,200, $600, and $1,400 stimulus checks. We're starting to receive $250 and $300 per month for the child tax credit payments. We've already received $600 and $300 per week for unemployment benefits, some rental assistance, and also mortgage forbearance. We've seen increased SNAP benefits, free and reduced health care, free meals for school-age children, and so much more. But even with all the stuff that was provided, and I didn't even list all of it, even with all the additional assistance, we still need more. The American people are still not back where they once were. Many businesses are still closed down, with a chance that many will close down once again if we see COVID cases increase, if mask mandates are not the only mandate, but businesses or restaurants cannot open to indoor dining. What happens then? All the restaurant workers, they are now laid off. They're furloughed. What if we cannot travel without a vaccine and the amount of people that are traveling just drops and plummets? Okay, plummet is probably not a good word to use talking about traveling, especially when it's regarding airlines. But what if the amount of people that are traveling, that kind of decreases, right? I was going to say drops, but that's probably not a good word to use for airlines. But what if the amount of people, it decreases? What happens then? Well, they furlough those employees again. And if it's up to the airlines, what happened last time is they had to come to Congress and pretty much beg Nancy Pelosi for about a month to get them more funding so they didn't have to lay off employees. And so the American taxpayers, we bailed them out once again. So this is what we're being told at this time is millions of workers that aren't back at work yet. Well, you might not have a job to go back to if more businesses close, if more restaurants close, if hotels are not busy, if the travel industry just tanks. We're going to have more issues. Millions of people are also on the verge of becoming evicted. Now, it's not as close as it was last time, but we are still going to see this in about a month and a half. On October 3rd, that's when the federal eviction moratorium ends. And as of right now, there's no talks of seeing an extension of the eviction moratorium or getting money out to renters faster. There's nothing. Reports are now indicating that many lawmakers also question whether or not infrastructure at this time is the best use of time. And they think it should be passed some other time. One Senate aide said that there have been discussions about possibly adding stimulus into the infrastructure bill since this is the final budget reconciliation they can do and time is of the essence. But again, we will have to see if this actually happens because according to multiple reports, Joe Manchin, he's opposed to additional stimulus. However, he's only said that he's opposed to extensions. So we'll have to see what happens there. We also know Republicans, they're not going to back an additional stimulus package as well. And many moderates in the House are worried that we're only looking at more stimulus and not passing the infrastructure bill. So a lot of discussions there. Now, Nancy Pelosi is saying that she will bring the House back next week for a vote on the $3.5 trillion budget resolution. But at least 9 moderates in the House have said they will not vote on it until after the $1.2 trillion bill has passed. So as of right now, Nancy Pelosi is pretty much playing chicken with her own caucus, saying, you know what, let's see if you guys are really going to vote against this. And if you do, well, we'll deal with that issue later. Well, the House Majority Leader, Steny Hoyer, he said they will attempt to approve the budget resolution this coming Tuesday. So, right now it's a very tight margin in the House, and if the House loses more than 3 votes, if 3 House Democrats vote no, this bill will not get passed. So, right now there's a lot of discussions as to how are we going to get this passed. Will it get passed, and will there be more for the American people? Right now, this bipartisan bill is being seen as the most important bill only because more people are pushing for that as opposed to this $3.5 trillion infrastructure bill, also known as a stimulus package. So, as I know more there, I promise I'll fill you in on that update as well. Now, lawmakers are also discussing another thing. Over the past few days, Afghanistan has been the big talk. What's going on in Afghanistan? Well, what we know is that currently lawmakers are discussing adding billions of dollars into the infrastructure bill for Afghanistan aid. Now, we do not know as of right now whether this is they want to add this into the $1.2 trillion bill or the $3.5 trillion bill. We don't know that yet, but they are considering adding billions of dollars. As to how many billions, I don't know. The politicians' plans are to have something by the time they come back from break. But again, remember, the House doesn't come back until September 20th, which is over 1 month away. So we still have a little bit of time. In the meantime, though, there are reports that have been coming out of the past couple of days that indicate that the Taliban have taken over a lot of our military equipment that was left over there. This includes fighter jets and Black Hawk helicopters. They've also gained control over biometric equipment that, according to reports and experts, say this will help guide them to Afghani citizens that helped the U.S. over the past 20 years. So it's not great news there. Also, the Biden administration has announced that they will begin administering booster shots beginning September 20th. But as of right now, at least according to reports, that hasn't been approved by the FDA yet. So the goal is to hopefully get this approval, and then they can start pushing forward with it. Also, health experts are saying that by having this booster shot readily available and using this kind of as a trick to get more people vaccinated, what's going to happen is more people are going to come get their vaccine simply because they don't want to have to wait in line once the booster shot recipients start going to their vaccine sites. So that's something that we're hearing at this time. Also, experts say that by doing a booster shot, it's not only going to help those that get the shot, but again, it's going to help those that haven't got the shot yet, because now if people are getting a second dose, or with its Moderna BioNTech, it would actually be a third dose. So because of that, it's actually going to push people to possibly get it, because they're thinking, okay, now these people are getting a bigger dose or more, it must be perfectly fine. They're not just falling dead all of a sudden. So that's kind of what we're hearing out of off Twitter as well. So right now, that's what we know. But as I know more, as always, I promise I'll come back on, fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Had any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed today's video. Also, consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.